Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and a warm welcome to the English College Virtual Open Day. It's really nice to have the opportunity to welcome you to this afternoon's presentation, albeit virtually. Obviously, we'd much rather be meeting with you and talking to you face to face, but in the current circumstances, that's obviously not possible. But thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Mark Ford. I'm the principal of the English College. I'm completing my first year. And this afternoon I'll be joined by several of the senior leadership team at EC. I'll be introducing you later to David Wilcock, my head of primary, Darryl Sims, head of middle school, and Emily Hopkinson, head of senior school. So they're joining me this afternoon just to share with you some of the key pieces of information that we think you will find useful, and obviously telling you a little bit about their phases and the areas of the school that they're responsible for. Joining us this afternoon because you're in the process of making some very, very big decisions. Obviously, choosing a school for your child is hugely important, and it needs to be a very informed decision. You're all here because you agree that education is hugely important, and as Nelson Mandela said, it's the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So the decision you are about to make are obviously crucial decisions for you and your child moving forward. And an important part of that decision is to look at your options, to weigh up the various options and decide which one is most appropriate for your child. So today is not about us selling the school to you. That's not our job. Today is about providing you with as much information as we can so that you're in a position to gauge whether the English College is the kind of school that you feel would be a good fit for you and your child. So today's an opportunity for us to share a little bit about the school and obviously to start that relationship with you as potential members of the community moving forward. There's a lot of things that we're really proud of at the school, very, very many. One of the things we're probably most proud of is that all of our children are happy, they enjoy coming to school, and they're excited. This recent period of online learning has demonstrated that more than ever. And the number of emails we're getting from parents and students really excited about returning in September is a really strong indication of the type of community that we have at the English College. So children do enjoy coming to school. They feel safe, they feel happy, and because of that, they're ready to learn. They're safe and happy because we have a very strong pastoral system at the school, all the way through from FS through to year 13. So our children, we believe, get the best possible care and the best possible support, both personally and academically, making sure that they're ready for that journey. We say that the pastoral care at school is the oil for learning, it's the oil of learning, it's the nourishment for the learning journey that your children are about to embark on. So making sure that they're safe and happy is absolutely fundamental to us. And when they are, they're ready to learn and they're ready to do their best and fulfill their potential. So our pastoral system is really underpinned by our values. And these are things that as a school and as a community, we all feel very strongly about, we all buy into, and they inform every decision and every conversation that we have. So we believe in respect at the English College, and it's a strong part of the glue that holds our community together. We have over 65 different nationalities, so students from every corner of the world. So respect is a really important and fundamental part of our community. It's about respecting the property, it's about respecting each other, it's about respecting individuals' belongings. So respect is a key value at the school. And it's respect relationships, respecting teachers, respecting students, students respecting teachers. So respect is a really fundamental value that we strongly align with at the school. Aspirations also key to our success. We have high aspirations of your children. I have high aspirations of my team. And those aspirations obviously are there to ensure that we help all of our children and all of our teachers fulfill their potential. So we're very aspirational as a school. We're collaborative. We like to work together. So teachers like to collaborate, whether that's helping develop lessons and exciting lessons for your children, or whether it's in terms of their own professional learning and helping them to improve and to get better as teachers and as educators. So we like to collaborate in everything that we do. Excellence is another of our key values at the school. We do have high expectations as well as high aspirations for your children. There's a lot of research that shows that if you have high expectations of children, then they will respond in a positive way. And that's one of our key values at the school. And your children, if they come to the English College, will have very high expectations of them, both inside and outside of the classroom. So we talk a lot about fulfilling potential at the school, but we mean that in the broadest sense of the word, not just in the classroom, but obviously on the sports pitch, in the music rooms, in the drama studios, whether it's art, whether it's chess, whatever their passion, whatever their interests, we expect them, we have aspirations, high aspirations for them, and we want everybody to strive for excellence. And that goes for our teachers too. We expect our teachers to be aspirational and to be aspiring to be excellent in everything that they do. And responsibility. We all have a responsibility for everything that we do in the school, a responsibility for each other, a responsibility again for the buildings, for the surroundings, for the environment, and all of our students and all of our staff are expected to obviously align with all of our 5 values. So as a school, we do believe that our children come to school happy, they are ready to learn, they enjoy being in our classroom, they enjoy being in every activity that we run across the school, and we do feel that we've got a great environment for learning and to obviously encourage your children to fulfill their potential. We have 3 phases in the school: the primary, the middle and the senior school. And the 3 heads of phase are going to talk to you a little bit about some of the key unique points associated with each of their phases. I'm going to hand you over to David Wilcock. David's our head of primary.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for attending this virtual open day today. As Mark said, I'm David Wilcock, head of primary school. I've been in the position just 1 year now. My history is really in the UK, in New Zealand and the UAE. So I've got a good international experience and a good idea with Mr. Ford of what we want to achieve at this school. Mr. Ford, next slide, please. What I'd like to talk to you about today is a little bit about the primary school and what makes us a little bit special and unique. And Mr. Ford already touched on the outstanding pastoral care that we have. The outstanding pastoral care is something that materializes every single day within the classrooms, within what we profess within the day for the children to learn about, and also through more extensive things like assemblies. We have student-led assemblies every single week, and the values Mr. Ford talked about, the students present those awards based around each value each week. So everything we do is based around those 5 core values, and hopefully when you get a chance to visit our school, you will see that in practice. It was very obvious to me in the last week in the prize giving ceremony just how much those values underpin what we do day to day, and we introduced the English College Values Award for the primary student who best befits those 5 values. So it really is integrated into every single thing that we do, and our rating with the KHDA is outstanding for pastoral care. And obviously the most important thing is that your child's happy, and we have a conducive learning environment then that children feel safe, they feel content, and they make those solid relationships with their teachers. And what we underpin everything with, apart from the values, obviously is a very strong curriculum base. Our curriculum is really based around exploration. And in terms of that, you may have heard the phrases continuous provision and inquiry-based curriculum. And what that means really is that we give our children a chance to explore. We've created an inquiry cycle which gives a proper process to that as well. Children get a chance to explore, ask questions, and learn for themselves. So things that they're interested in, that are passionate about, we really encourage that across the school, right from FS to year 5. There is a British curriculum, so we have certain objectives we have to meet, but we like to think that we're flexible with that as well, and that we can meet the holistic needs of every single child in the school. And on the next note, you might see a reference to personalised learning. We're very proud that we think every single child in the primary school has an individual learning pathway. And that what basically means is that children learn at their own pace. Obviously, we have high expectations, as Mr. Ford reinforced before. We have high expectations of every student, but we also make sure that that child has support and that child can excel. And we don't really keep to certain year groups as such. We don't box children in. We give them a chance, if they're high achieving at a certain year level, to work with other classrooms. And our pods, our environment, our flexible learning environment gives us that opportunity that we can offer students time to move between classrooms, to work with other teachers and with other students. Obviously, that will be restricted in the first term as we put our special measures in place. But again, we still want to reinforce that we look at the high expectations we have for every student and that every student can achieve. Quality teaching obviously is very important. We have lots of British curriculum teachers at our school. The vast majority are very highly trained and experienced in British curriculum. They come from most parts of the UK, but also from Australia, New Zealand and South Africa, where they also have strong education systems. And a good testimony to the success of the school is that we're not losing any primary staff at all next year. We have a solid amount of teachers who are staying, everyone's staying in the primary, and that is a testimony, I think, to the happy environment and the collaboration, the collegiality that we have across the school. So quality teaching, again, reference to the British curriculum, we make sure that we have very strong assessment reporting procedures, and we get to meet the parents 4 times a year. Once at the start of the year where we set our targets, and then we go through the year meeting parents regularly. But fortunately, as a small community as well, we are able to see parents virtually every single day, dropping in on the playground, having chats with us as we're all outside to meet the children each and every single day and at the end of the day as well. So we have that informal touch with the parents, but it is very personalised. We get to know every student. I know the names of every student in the primary school, and we get to know all the parents really well as well. And it's a strength of this community, which I'll refer to a little bit more later. We do have small class sizes. Again, it is one of the things that we guarantee, that we have 22 students in a classroom from year 1 to year 5. And in FS, it's 20 students. And I'll give you a good example. Year 2 at the moment has 25 students, but they are in 2 classrooms because we guarantee that 22 is our maximum size. And that does allow the personal touch. It allows teachers to give lots of feedback to students throughout the day. And it really helps, again, build those personal relationships across the whole school. Specialist teaching and ECAs, we're very fortunate to have a very strong specialist teaching program. The middle and senior teachers also come down and take these lessons. We have music, we have French, we have swimming lessons provided by an outside provider within the school day. We have Arabic and Islamic, and we're hoping to also have IT and some arts as well during the course of the next year. So we're very much about holistic development, very much about developing children's strengths in all areas of the curriculum. We do have a very strong ECA program as well. Again, it's a whole school program with lots of opportunities for our students across every single day in going to different activities. For example, in the primary school last year, we had things like cooking and mad scientists and Lego club and inquiry development and a distance learning garden, which was very popular. There's just a few examples of what we do across at the end of the day. Our community is a very close-knit community. Again, we're 150 students in primary school, and we are across the whole school reasonably small in size, and we do get to know the community very well. We have lots of community events, International Day, National Day, Father's Day breakfast, Mother's Day breakfast, all these kind of events designed to build a community into our school. Like I said, we talk to parents every single day. During distance learning, we found every single parent in the school to find out how it's working for them, to check on well-being of students and parents, and it is something we pride ourselves on. That's enough from me. I'm going to hand you over now to Daryl Sims, who's our head of middle school, to have a chat with you.
Thank you very much, David. Hello, everybody. My name is Daryl Sims, and I am the head of the middle school. So having a middle school, having the primary, middle, senior model is, rather unique. So the middle school is year 6, 7, 8, and 9. And so what essentially the middle school would offer your child is that we offer a very smooth transition for your child as they go through these middle years, as they make that change from like small school to big school, from primary school to secondary school. This smooth transition, it will begin in year 6. So if your child was to join us in year 6, they would start to make that move from primary to secondary. They will still have that primary feel of a very close-knit with their form tutor, their homeroom, but they will also start to make the transition into the secondary school arena. So they will start to have specialist lessons in the secondary side of the school with secondary teachers, as well as having opportunities to mix and socialize, compete in different sort of sports and activities with the older students as well. This middle school model, the smooth transition though, also does continue into year 7, 8 and 9. As in these years, in these sort of very important middle years when the students are, going into their teen age years, it allows us to put a lot of focus in on them individually. As we have, similar like David said, because we have a small school in the sense of numbers, this allows us to focus in on the individual. And so we allow this transition as we prepare the students to be ready for their GCSEs, to be ready for their A-levels. Now, by having this middle school model as well, we can focus in, as I say, on each year group to not only develop the child as an academic, because of course, academics is very important. And we at the English College, we obviously do very much believe in this. We hold the high expectations for all of the students. And the aim is to offer this personalized learning, which will help the child to reach their maximum potential. But as we mentioned before, we want to offer a holistic education. And so we also want to develop your child in the sense of their character, their personality, their learning skills, their life skills. We want them to, branch outside of the classroom and to develop their enjoyment and love in the arts or, in sport. We also want to give every child opportunities to try something new and to be a leader. And so throughout the school, not just in the middle school, there is lots of leadership opportunities for your child. So for example, they could be a form rep or they could be a year rep, which would then represent their peers in the student council. We also have a house competition, which runs through all 3 schools. And this is where the year groups are split into 4 different houses, and then they compete against each other in different events. Some are sporting and some are not sporting. Some are more like maybe a debate club or a spelling bee or something like that. If you ever seen like a film like Harry Potter, you would understand what we sort of mean there in the sense of the houses. And so your child could be a house captain. We also have lots of sports teams, and an exciting one that we have in the middle school is we have the middle school captains. So the year 9s, they are the eldest in the middle school. They are therefore the leaders. And we have a democratic election where the students will vote for a group of year 9s to be their middle school captains. And so this is really what it's all about in the sense of developing the whole child, giving them these extra opportunities inside and outside of the classroom and to lead. One of the biggest things that I would definitely say about the English College, though, and it has come up already, is the community. And so I arrived at the English College in 2011, where I came from East London before that. And the community was something that I felt instantly. It was so warm and it was so friendly and it was so happy. And I'm very happy to say that that community feel is still very much alive today. The whole environment as you walk down the corridors and you see the children playing on the playground or in the lessons themselves, you can feel that there is a very warm and supportive nature about it. And so this community does exactly what a community would do, is that we support each other, we allow each other to develop, and we're there for each other. And so that is something that I really feel is something that is vitally special about the English College, and it's something that your child would very much enjoy. So to conclude then, in the sense of the middle school, it really is this focused time where we can allow the child to transition through the school. It allows them to develop their whole skills and not just their academics. And it also allows us to focus in on the individual. As I said, with the smaller school numbers, this means that there is no missing students in our school. Every student is known. Students aren't a number to us. Everyone is an important member of our community. When they finish year 9, they would then obviously progress into the senior school. And as they leave the middle school, the aim is that they will be achieving their highest potential, and they would have developed themselves not just as a learner, but as a person. And so now I'd like to pass on to Emily Hopkinson, who will be able to tell you a bit more about the next step, the senior school. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. So I am Emily Hopkinson, and I will be joining the English College this summer as the head of the senior school. I've just finished my role as a secondary deputy head teacher at a large international school in Kuala Lumpur. And before that, I was a head of sixth form at a large grammar school in the UK. And I'm really excited about the move to Dubai and indeed EC this summer. My transition really started a few months ago now, and so I'm ready to hit the ground running in August when the school opens and can speak about the school with quite a lot of confidence. I'm really excited to be joining EC at such an exciting time. We have a brand new building that will open in August, and this will house specialist teaching laboratories for science, fully equipped art and music rooms, an interactive drama studio, in fact 2, a bespoke common room that was designed by our very own sixth form students, and more than enough space so that we can house all of our students very safely and following social distancing guidelines. So we are so excited to see the final stages of completion over the next month. So our students follow individualised pathways, and that is one of our secrets for success. Putting students on the right pathway from the very beginning ensures academic success. As you can see, our results are excellent. At GCSE, nearly half of our students achieve those top grades of A and A star, and 3/4 A star to B grades. At A level, over half of our students achieve A star to B grades, and an incredible 83% achieve an A star to C. Considering the huge jump from GCSE to A level, these results are excellent, and they are due to not only getting students on the right pathway to start with, but also the tracking, the monitoring that we do, and of course, the specialist teaching and learning that our students receive. Our students receive teaching and learning through subject specialists to really challenge them in their related field. Now, it's not all about raw attainment. A key focus is pastoral support, and we ensure that we support and guide students so that they make excellent progress for them. All of our students will sit the Cat4 aptitude test, and this gives us so much information about how they think and how consequently they might learn best. And it gives us learning preferences and things to look out for with students. And our teachers use this data really carefully to personalise learning for all of our students, whatever their learning preferences are. And we can measure the impact that our teaching, our care, our guidance, our support has. All of these factors that are specific and unique to our school, we can measure the impact of those on our value added data. If our value added data is good, it means that students get a better deal at EC than they would have if they went elsewhere. And that's based on their Cat4 aptitude test. Now, as you can see, using KHDA guidelines and benchmarks, 3/4 of our subjects at GCSE and A-level have outstanding value added data, and the remaining quarter, very good. This means that students get higher grades by coming to our school than they would elsewhere, and that's due to our provision, our guidance, our care, our support, and our specialist teaching and learning that they receive. Now, after students achieve their grades, they're going to move on to the next stage in their life. And as you can see, our students go on to a wide range of universities and study a wide range of courses. And this is something that really makes us special and unique. Of course, we have students that go to the usual universities as you'd expect in the UK, in Canada and the US, but they also go to a wide range of other universities as well that are appropriate for them. And we support applications from languages to medicine to architecture all over the world. And our job is to make sure that we do absolutely everything we can within our power to make sure that they get the grades that they need to move on to their chosen course at their chosen university, whatever and wherever that is. So a final message from me. We support and challenge all of our students, and we will do throughout their whole time. And that's so that they can achieve the very, very best that they can, and that includes the best grades that they can. But more than that, it's been mentioned a few times today already. Students are important to us. It's important that they're safe, that they're happy, and that they're well. And it's important to us that we celebrate their strengths, whether they are musical, in the sports, in the arts, or academically. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll hand back over to Mr. Ford.
Thank you, Emily. I hope that's given you a flavour of some of the features that we think make the English College special. And obviously, having heard what you've heard, you're now in a position where you can start to think about whether it's the right choice for your child. Some of the key things, some of the key messages that I hope you've picked up about happy, safe learning environments, about personalised learning, about holistic learning, making sure that your child is learning outside of the classroom as much as they are inside of the classroom, and really making sure that whatever their potential academically, we do our very best to achieve that for them, working with them and working with you. Likewise, outside of the classroom, discovering their passions and really engaging them to develop passions to higher levels and to find new passions. So it's very much about holistic, aspirational, high quality, high expectation, high challenge learning environment. Okay, we have some questions that are coming through on the chat. So between the four of us, we'll try to answer some of these questions. So first question comes through with regards to FS2 students joining us. Are there many new FS2 students, or are they mostly our own FS1 students moving through to FS2? So I think Mr. Wilcock will comment on this in a second, but what I'd say is that the nature of an international school, any international school, is that because of the transience of the population, you will get significant numbers of children coming in to every year group in an international school. We talked about the word community, we talked about respect and responsibility, and one of the features, the key features of English College is that it is a caring community. So if your child is new to the school, they will be safe, they will feel looked after, they'll feel that other students have their backs. I always say to the new students when I welcome them in August, if you don't feel like you've been at English College for a lifetime, then come and knock on me after your first week. And I don't get any people visiting my office. So our students are very welcoming, our pastoral support structures are very strong to make sure that as soon as students come into the community, and parents as well, they very quickly feel to be part of this special community. Second question was about choices at GCSE. Emily, would you like to answer that one? Special choices for students in year 9 going into year 10.
Yeah, that's a really good question, and that's part of our personalised pathway. So students do the core subjects as you would expect, English, maths, science, etc. And then they choose 4 options. And those options are based on their interests, their passion, and subjects that they've shown that they're good at in the past. So those range from art, music, languages, business studies, psychology, etc. And what we do that's quite unique is we ask students what they want, and then we build our option blocks based on what they want, so that we give students, in nearly all cases, the exact combination of subjects that they want. We, of course, will give students advice and guidance based on their career aspirations and their A-level aspirations, but students get to choose their GCSE pathway to give themselves the best opportunities for success.
Thanks, Emily. We have a couple of questions about the situation for August. The first question is, are we expecting to open at full capacity full time? I think Emily alluded to this earlier. We are expecting to open. We are currently planning to make sure that every child can come back full time in September. Obviously, with all the right health and safety precautions in place. We are in a very fortunate position where we do have a new build, so we have significant capacity, and we do have relatively small numbers. So we are currently planning to open at full capacity, full time. That will, however, be subject, as with all schools, to KHD approval. We also have a question about provision in place to ensure social distancing, especially in primary. So David will comment in a second, but we are actually planning as a leadership team to make sure that we've got social distancing across the whole school. But David, would you like to say a little bit about primary specific?
Yeah, as Mark mentioned, we are in a fortunate position that we do have a reasonably large primary school site, but a small primary population. So we are able to put students in separate areas and maintain that social distancing from years 1 to 5. So we do have the space. We've spent a lot of time since the announcement that we are possibly going back to school at the end of August in putting a plan in place. We think it's thorough. We think we've covered every base. And I am actually going to sit with parents tomorrow. I have a parent meeting tomorrow with the parent council to discuss the plans. And we talked about community before, about involving community. We want to talk to them, share it with them, and get some also maybe some things that we haven't thought of, and some recommendations. But it's a very thorough plan. We believe that we're covering everything that's required from the DHA at the moment, this moment in time. So we're quite happy with what we've got in place. Obviously, the challenge is in FS in the younger years. But again, we do have space that we can put smaller classes in place, and we do have lots of learning support as well. And we believe in terms of adult to student ratios as well, it's very low, which is excellent for coming back to school in a safe environment where every children will still make the same kind of progress in the learning.
Thanks, David. A question about if parents aren't comfortable with the COVID situation in August, would we offer the option to continue with home learning? Because of the nature of learning in August, where there will be social distancing, there is still going to be a lot of technology involved, which will mean that effectively if a child isn't in class, there is no reason they won't be able to keep up with the class through a distance learning program. So yes, that would be a possibility. A question about inclusivity, actually, it's a really good question. Emily shared our value added results a little bit earlier. And the reason she said that value added is so important is that that measures the progress that every child makes from a given starting point. Lots of schools can brag about huge numbers of A's and A stars at GCSE and A level, and we do too, actually. We get some very good results. But at the end of the day, obviously that doesn't tell the whole story. So the value added data that Emily shared is actually showing the progress that every child makes, no matter where their starting point. So we are an inclusive school, and that's another strength of the community. We are inclusive. We like to welcome everybody to the school, providing that obviously we feel that that we can meet everybody's learning needs. So we are inclusive, and we're very proud of it. And as Emily shared with the value added data, Children make really, really outstanding progress at the school, no matter where their starting point is. So we do have children who struggle in mathematics, or who struggle in English, who struggle in art, but they make either very good or outstanding progress, as Emily shared earlier. We had another question about social distancing. Yes, so as David said, it is going to be very much controlled, and we do have plans that we're putting in place to make sure the children are safe when they come back to August. Second, we're going to be in the new building. Yes, they are, and that's obviously part of our planning to ensure that every child is back in a safe environment. This is a question about how teaching is done during distance learning. So most of our classes are live classes. I've been really proud to be the leader of the school over the last 4 months. Our teachers have done an astonishing job. I'm going to share our social media threads with you on the next slide, but I would encourage you all to engage with us on social media, and you'll get a flavour of what we've been doing over the last 4 months, and the amazing job that my staff have made of making sure that every child has had a really good, positive, engaging experience, and is finishing the year in an appropriate position in terms of their progress and attainment. Typical start and finish time for FS2, Mr. Sims.
I think I can answer that. Maybe for FS2, maybe Mr. Sims can answer year 9. We've put a lot of time in the last few days in looking at timings for people coming to school and leaving school. So there is a slight difference in the year 9 and FS start times, but it's not such a huge mountain to climb for parents that they can't deliver to the secondary school and the middle school, as well as delivering to the primary school their children. So the FS2 start time from end of August will be 8 AM, and I believe it's 7:45 for year 9s.
Yeah, so for year 9, talking like normally, it would be 7:45 the school day starts. So the child has to be in the building before 7:45, and then the school day will finish at 3:20. But looking at our plans for September, end of August, September with the COVID, is that we will be allowing the year 9 students to arrive just before 7:45, as we want to get the primary school kids in the building first. And then when they leave at the end of the day, the year 9 students will be allowed to leave at 3:15 in order to not have everybody going to the gates at the exact same time.
Thanks for that. A question here about year 9, about Spanish in the middle school. Will they be streamed? The parent who's asking, his daughter has been doing it since FS2.
So with Spanish, with MFL, Modern Foreign Languages, we have French and we have Spanish. So the students choose which one that they will be in. And then there is an opportunity for the classes to be differentiated. But the key thing is that within the lesson, the teachers will be able to differentiate fully, as we said before, about personalized learning. And so with the subjects like French and Spanish, I know quite a bit. My wife's actually a teacher of that subject, and you can frequently have in the room maybe someone who is a native and somebody who is a beginner. And so the teachers at the English College do have the skill in order to offer a differentiated experience for the students. And we never would put any sort of ceiling on the students. Like, so if your child was to already know the work that's being done by the other students, it wouldn't be a case of, well, you need to let the others catch up. They would be pushed forward and driven, as I say, keeping with the high expectations.
A question about visiting the school. And is it possible to visit the school before the start of the year? The answer is yes. We do have permission for visitors in small controlled numbers. So yes, we'd love to see you. Term actually finishes this week, but there are people around all summer, myself included. So if you would like to come and see the school, meet myself. I know Mr. Wilcock is in, Mr. Sims is in next week. So you're more than welcome to make an appointment to come in and have a look around the school. And whoever wrote the question, yeah, it's very true. It's really important that you get a flavour of the school in real life, because it is impossible to make a decision through a virtual platform. So yeah, do not make a decision based on today. Do come and see us and see if you like the feel of the school, see if your children like the feel of the school. Obviously, we don't have any children in the school, but I think you can still get a flavour of what we're all about by coming and having a look around. Would anybody like to send any last questions? So, sorry, beg pardon, there's a question about office working hours. So office working hours at the moment are 8 until 3, and they will be the same throughout the summer. Any final questions? Okay, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. We hope that you found the session worthwhile and informative. We are at the school, we're contactable. So if there's any questions that arise after you leave this meeting, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. We would love to see you face to face, obviously social distancing appropriately. But if you do get the opportunity to come and meet us over the coming week or two, please do feel free to contact us and make an appointment. Thanks for taking the time to listen. If any questions or concerns, we're still here. We'll still answer questions for a couple of minutes. Otherwise, I wish you all a good summer, and I hope you all stay safe and well. Take care. Thank you, and bye-bye. Okay, we have a question that's just come through about the primary students, whether the primary students will be 100% in school. Yes, we're planning to have every child in school, so we are making our plans at the moment. We will be submitting them to the KHDA for their approval, and then once we have that approval, we do plan to have every child in school with the correct social distancing and all of the other health and safety factors taken into account.